Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing a full room transformation for you. So as you can see, we're starting by getting this carpet ripped out. Most carpets are held down by these tack strips around the outside of the room. So once you're able to get one of the corners loose, it's pretty easy. We're cutting it smaller to be able to roll it up. And then you're able to just pull that underlay out from underneath as well. And then it's time to get those tack strips off. While these have a lot of little nails sticking up out of them that are going to hold the carpet, they also have nails holding them down to the subfloor, which in this case was concrete. So it's a little harder to get out. So you can see the tool that we have here has a little groove there that you just put around the nail and then hit it with a hammer and they pop out of place. It makes quite a mess, so we got to do a bit of cleanup here. And then we're going to get started. We're using a life-proof vinyl. This was actually an 8mm. It's quite a thick vinyl to install today. But before we can get started with that, we need to take the baseboards out. So when you're installing vinyl flooring, you do need, at least on these click floorings, it's a floating floor. So you do need to leave a space around the outside so that the vinyl can expand and contract. So you must take the current baseboards off because that gap needs to then be covered by new baseboards that go over top. So you can see here these walls are plaster, so we're using a knife to just make a clean cut and so that when we're pulling off the baseboards, it's not pulling off any of the paint or the finished wall that's there. Okay, we're then going to start adding some of these little spacers. So this property we were doing for a friend of ours, and so we didn't have all of our tools that we normally have around, but they had these little spacers that we could use, and so we did place them along the back wall to start off with. But you're going to see as we do this first board, we actually keep them a little bit out from the spacers. Okay, we do have a full video on our channel of how to do those first rows, but you can see with this adjustment here, it's really important. I can't stress this enough that that first row is connected perfectly straight. Okay, everything afterwards is going to be affected by that. So we need to take our time on those first rows and make sure they're perfect. Because we're not pushed back against those dividers there, you can see we're actually just having somebody stand on the board. Like I said, we don't have all of our proper tools with us, but we thought this would be a great opportunity for us to show you how you can do this without all the industrial tools. Okay, so a few bodies. And we make it happen. So we're using a cut off piece of the vinyl here to touch to the click when we're using the mallet to hammer it into place. Okay, and then just using a person to help with that. So at this point, we're getting ourselves lined up. We push the thing back. We're measuring side to side to get that first row square. On this job, actually, the back wall was really, really wonky. In the middle there was quite a gap. We made sure it wasn't any more than what the baseboard would be, but it was close. And then at one side, we actually had the vinyl tucked way down in under the wall as well in order to kind of square up the room as we are coming towards a door that we want to be nice and flush, okay? So you don't want to just assume that the back wall or whatever wall you start on is square. You do need to make sure that you're taking that time. So you saw we did it after 3 rows where we made those adjustments as everything's starting to feel a little bit solid. And then you can see us here continuing on. And again, even though we've put it into place now and we do have those spacers in place, we're still using our own bodies to kind of just really make sure that nothing is shifting or adjusting here. All right, we are using a staggered laying pattern. So basically whatever we cut off of the one side, we use it as our starter board on the other side. This particular vinyl also had multiple colors. It was about 3 different colors that were involved. It's meant to look more authentic that way, but you do just need to be really careful. Sometimes you open up a box and it's just all one color, and then you're going to end up with little like pockets of colors in the floor. So you'll see a few times here where I'll open up a box before the other one is done, just to really make sure that we get that color alignment into place. On what's happening there. So if you're new to our channel, we are Step Up Vinyl. We are located in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, and we are a vinyl business. But laying vinyl is not the only thing we do. We're most known for our vinyl stair nosings. And what that means is that we take this vinyl that we're using right now, any vinyl that you bring to us, and we actually modify it to be able to go on to stairs. All right, looking from the other angle there as we move about halfway across. So we take this vinyl and we bend it so that we'll be able to cover stairs with it as well. So this property didn't have stairs, but if it did, we would be able to just continue this exact same vinyl right into those staircases. And in that process, you know, we've ended up doing hundreds of homes and doing their floor for them, as well as the stairs themselves. You see here this cutter that we're using, as I mentioned. We don't have our tools with us. We were out visiting friends and we decided to help them out with this room. And so this cutter is available. It's quite a cheap alternative to a vinyl cutter. Definitely not our favorite, but for the price tag, it definitely does work a little bit better than using an X-Acto knife. You'll notice here that we are cutting the boards upside down because it does tend to crack the bottom corner. And so we just make sure to cut it upside down and that we're always cutting the edge that's going to go along the wall and be covered by the baseboards. Okay, again, you can see us here just using our own bodies to help make sure everything is in line, and always starting with that corner, tapping down the short end, and then touching that long edge into play. All right, and then you just kind of go. Much easier with two people. You can see we've got it down to an art at this point, constantly cleaning up, getting materials as is needed, and making sure that we're staying on track. This job took us just under 4 hours to actually rip out the carpets, get everything prepped, and get the vinyl down, and then another hour to do the trim and the door connection here that you're seeing us kind of prep later on in the day. So it definitely was a one-day job and definitely doable for you as well in one day as needed. Okay. But back to our business, we have tons and tons of videos on YouTube now showing you all different aspects of this. So if you are thinking of laying vinyl flooring yourself, I really encourage you to check out the channel and get some tips and tricks, okay? Vinyl flooring, it's described as being super easy, and it can be, but there's definitely a few things that are going to make your job a heck of a lot easier. And so it would definitely be great if you check that out. Also, if you are looking to get a staircase done and need some nosings, we would love to help you out on that as well. Our website is stepupvinyl.ca, and that's where you can contact us, where you can also find more of our videos and our instructions manuals, and just how to do anything and everything. All right, so we do nosings for stairs with walls on both sides. We're also one of the first businesses to be able to do nosings for stairs that are open on one side, and we can do everything from just simply making the nosings for you and showing you how to install them, to making the nosings and installing them, and doing the floor and the railing and everything else that you need as well. So please check out that website, and like I said, hit that subscribe button and check out our channel. All right, we are getting close to the end of this main floor. You can see we have it closed at the moment, but there is that closet space that we're going to go into as well. But what was really exciting with this job, once we get the tweaking around the closet, is that our final row ended up being a full board. This has never happened to us before. As I said, we've installed hundreds of floors at this point, and we have never had it work out that way. When you're doing those initial rows and doing that measurement, you want to make sure that you're not going to end up with a really small cut row at the end. Otherwise, you're going to start your row off a little bit differently. But we got really excited when we did that first measurement. You can see here I'm crouched down to get an extra video footage because we were so excited about it that we might actually be able to get a full row here. And it did end up working out that way. So really exciting in this place. It's not a huge deal. I mean, normally you're just using a table saw and you're ripping the boards down to size, and it's not a big deal. But again, because we were just helping out a friend and we didn't have all the exact tools that we wanted, this was pretty exciting for us that we could do that. All right, in the doorway here, we're just prepping the transition piece. Transition pieces need a rail at the bottom, so we want to make sure that we leave enough room for that when we're doing the flooring install and getting that piece set up. A little later in the video, I'm going to show you how to do that. And like I said before, there's videos on our website that show you in detail, nice and slow, exactly how to go about doing that yourself and getting those final boards into place. As I mentioned before, we thought this video would be a really great way to show you how, if you don't have a lot of the tools and a lot of those opportunities, you can still get this done yourself. Obviously, we're doing things very different than when we're doing a job for a paying customer, and we have all of our tools available. You can see here we're literally using a plastic chair to be able to do some of those cuts. The other thing at this property is that there was not outdoor space and there was a lot of restrictions on noise, and so we were not able to do a lot of the cutting outside. So you're going to see us constantly cleaning up, bringing chairs and different tools in to use them. If you are having to do work on top of the vinyl that you've already laid down, you just really want to make sure that you protected it. So I'm not sure if you saw it earlier, but we actually took some of the boxes and laid them flat, and that's what our cutter's been sitting on because we can't be cutting outside of the room. But again, if you had that opportunity, you wanted to do that. Here, you can see we're using the chair to hold it when we're using the jigsaw, and then we're doing it over top of a box to try to reduce. Again, like I said, not how we normally do it, but you got to make do. And we were really happy to be able to get this done. So there's the rails that hold those sliding doors. So that's just what we're working around here at this point. And then we'll be able to finish up that closet and get on to our transition piece. So as I mentioned here at Step Up, we've been in business for a number of years now. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of customers with their vinyl flooring. Vinyl flooring is a really, really great product. It's quite simple to work with. It's very, very durable. That's probably my favorite thing about it. When you are buying your vinyl, please go check out our video. We have a very specific one about knowing the different types. There's lots of different names that you're going to hear out there: SVP, LVP, LVT, all sorts of different ones, and it'll help you understand what exactly it is and what you want to buy. There's definitely some businesses out there that are trying to sell you features that are not as important. The most important one you want to find is that wear layer, but like I said, go find that other video, and you can learn all about it from there. Also, if you know you're going to be putting your vinyl both on your floor and on your stairs, there's a few other recommendations that we do make, knowing that you're going to be creating it into stair nosings as well. So it would be important to go check out that information there too. All right, so our vinyl flooring is laid, and it's now time, after a quick tidy up, to do our transition piece. So a transition piece is what we use to transition, to move from one type of flooring to another. In this case, they have tile flooring in the hallway that they are keeping, and we've just laid down a quite thick vinyl, an 8mm vinyl, and so we just really want to have a clear distinction to be able to move between them in a place where dirt's not going to get. So this nosing system that we have, because it's quite thick, I'm putting 2 spacers into place. That's really just going to put the rail a lot higher, so that it's not so sunken down in between the 2 of them. These systems are really easy to use. There's that single rail that gets glued down, and then our next piece just clicks right in on top of it, and it has the exact same vinyl wrapped around that nosing piece. Beautiful. And there we have it, our finished product. We got the baseboards in and painted. We have our beautiful transition piece. Again, we have a video that shows you how to make this transition piece yourself out of the vinyl so that it's a perfect match and you're not using one of those ugly metal ones. And you too could have a finish just like this. So it really doesn't take a ton of tools. It just takes a lot of patience and some YouTube knowledge that you can get from our channel. So we'd really appreciate it if you can give this video a thumbs up if it helped. There's that closet there, already getting filled up, but looking beautiful. And please hit that subscribe button and come back and check out our other content. And we'll see you in the next video.